He believed that if he worked harder, everything would eventually be fine. A better job, more money, more security. That was the plan. He told himself he was doing it for his family. In the beginning, she understood. She married an ambitious man. She admired his drive. When he stayed late, she waited. When he missed dinner, she reheated his food. She believed the season would pass. But seasons don't end on their own. They end when someone decides they matter enough to change. And no one did. The children noticed first. They stopped asking when he'd be home. Stopped waiting up. Stopped running to the door. They didn't complain. They adjusted. He didn't notice. Not because he didn't care, but because he was always tired. She tried to talk to him. At first gently. I miss you. Later, more directly. We don't talk anymore. Eventually, less often. He listened, nodded, promised things would slow down. And he meant it. But life kept demanding more. And he kept saying yes. Over time, she changed. No shouting. No drama. Just silence. She stopped sharing her day. Stopped asking his opinion. Stopped expecting him to notice. The house became efficient. Functional. Quiet. They were no longer lovers. They were managers of a household. The day everything became clear was an ordinary evening. He came home late. The lights were dim. Dinner was packed away. The children were asleep. She sat on the couch, scrolling her phone. He greeted her. She looked up, smiled politely, and went back to her screen. No anger, no relief, just politeness. He started talking about his day. A meeting, a deal, a win. She listened, but her eyes didn't light up. Halfway through his story, he stopped. Something felt wrong. He looked at her, really looked, and it hit him. She wasn't upset. She wasn't waiting. She wasn't disappointed. She was done reaching. That realization hurt more than any argument, because anger still hopes. Silence is already grieved. He realized he'd become a guest in his own home, respected, tolerated, but no longer central. That night, lying beside her, he couldn't sleep. The space between them felt wider than the bed. He replayed the years in his mind, the late nights, the postponed conversations, the moments he promised himself he'd fix later. Later never came. He had believed success would fix everything, that once the pressure eased, he'd be more present. But success didn't slow life down. It sped it up. The next morning, he watched his children leave for school. They hugged him, politely, not tightly, not desperately, politely. He sat alone at the dining table, 2 empty chairs across from him, and the silence spoke. He finally asked himself a question he had avoided for years. What if I win at everything and lose my family? Success gave him comfort, status, security. But it took something just as valuable. Presence. Presence isn't something you make up for later. It expires. Love doesn't survive on good intentions. Marriage doesn't thrive on provision alone. Families don't need perfection. They need presence. Some marriages end loudly. Others fade quietly. One late night at a time. One missed moment at a time. This was the day. He realized success wouldn't save his marriage. And for some truths, realization is the first chance, not the last.